Hey folks, this is Brian. We got to play RQG last night. A couple of interesting things and some more rule type discussion and something I need to apply later on. So the party's in their room, camped out for 24 hours to get magic points back up. While Davin was on watch that night, he had an encounter with a spirit and had spirit combat. Now, this particular spirit was a passion spirit, love the mistress. I don't really have her exact name yet. I'm going to create that later today, I guess. So that there's some more application here as things progress. So he's got this love passion for the mistress, whoever she is. And there's no real application to that at this point. Obviously, if he gets to a situation where that love passion gets in the way, I'll have him roll and we'll see how things like that progress. But the rest of the night went without incident. The rest of that next day, as they're resting, no issues. They make the full 24 hours. Davin's, because the spirit was actually pretty powerful, and in 2 rounds he was out. In fact, he was almost out in 1 round. So he's like 3 hours short of his full magic points. And okay, so what do we do next? And the party decides to follow where Voskandor. Oh, and they'll realize Voskandor's dead. Follow where Voskandor had gone to see, what's down there. And as they open the door, they can see light emanating from that other hallway. So they tiptoe down there and peek around, and they can see down there is an entranceway, probably a door of some kind, a doorway, and there's light coming out of it. Oh, now that I think about it, probably wasn't, because it was a lamp, and it's probably burned out by now. Dang! Because they are in complete darkness, like underground, right? So any little bit of light is going to be visible. And so I've been trying to piece together how this affects different creatures and people's perceptions and such. And holy cow. Yeah, that lantern would have burned out. Oh well. They go down. There's a door on the right as they go down. They bypass it. Check out the entranceway. Door's been busted open. Broken off its hinges. It's still there, but it's been busted open. Something like maybe a berserker would have done. Yeah, exactly. So go in this room, and this is like a living room of some kind. There's tables, some chairs, and these are plushed chairs. They got pillows and stuff. There's a small table off to the side. Oh, on the main table in the room is where this lantern was. Although, no, have a lantern burned for 8 hours. Although it would have been 24, so it would have gone out. I'll think about that. Against the wall is a small table with a decanter and a couple of cups. A couple other small tables about the room. And 3 doors, all of which have been busted open. One on the left wall, one on the right wall, and one straight across from them. So they check out the left and right one at the same time. Arestra and Davin go to one side. Engrolar and Subutai go to the other. The dark trolls kind of watch what's going on from the back, down the hallways kind of stuff. And they also noticed that at the hallway, some odd meters past this doorway, there's like a cave-in kind of thing. There's rubble, muck, and all that kind of stuff. So they check out these 2 rooms. These other 2 rooms are bedrooms. One's got a single bed, another's got 2 beds. A couple chairs, small tables, pegs with cloaks on them, and each of them have another door that's going it's across from the doors that went in, and these doors are not busted open. They're fine. So they come together, check out this middle room. It's a larger room, but again, a bedroom. It's got a comfy bed. It's got a desk with a table, a desk with a chair and a table and stuff, right? And a chest. There's a chest in this room. And so I just go, what'd you see? Well, it was like a bedroom with a bed. This one had 2 beds in it, that kind of thing. And so they go into this room, the largest bedroom, a larger bedroom. And there's a door on the far side. It's got a latching mechanism, and it's actually got a throw bar down on it. They pull up the throw bar, and they listen. Forgot who made the roll, but it was a special. So yeah, they can hear something out there. There's noise out there. Not like people right in front of the door moving around or anything. There's some kind of noise out there. So they open it. They open. Restaurant opens the door. Supatai's angling to see what's going on, and you can tell as they open the door. There's this warm, humid, not a breeze, but the air coming in is warm and humid. And the ground is covered with water, and it's a starlit sky. In fact, it's an almost full moon. So there's some discussion on, okay, what they see. They have one of the Dark Trolls actually take a look out there and see what they can see. And there's some discussion again about language. And there's recently on one of the Runequest Facebook pages some discussion on language and language capability and that kind of stuff. And I've decided to soften up my language rules so that, if they're some of the low percentage, 25% whatever in a language, they understand basic words, water, please, more, bread, help, basic words kind of thing. They can get that across. But it's when you try to combine ideas or actually say something in a long, strung out sentence that's where rules need to be made. And so they ask, what do you see? Now, that's specific saying, what do you see? Fairly simple words, and the concept is simple. But does connecting all of those words together, is that a simple process? I'm not sure about that just yet. But anyway, what do you see? They see a tower, and they see the courtyard. So courtyard, we're talking about, well, when we start talking about, okay, remember when we first got here, it's kind of like a donut shape, and in the middle is this courtyard, and there's a tower. Oh, that's where we are. We're just on the other side, and this is going out into that area. Yeah. And they ask about movement. No movement. So go ahead and they close that door. They don't bar it. They just latch it shut, and they come out, and they go back to the tower, and they go up the tower. And they must have, I'm guessing, just not quite pieced together this whole tower situation. And part of me is thinking I should have just told them outright. But I was kind of, maybe they're trying to do something with what they're doing. So they go up the stairs, and the stairs, there's a landing with the window. Where when you first get there at the boat ramp, you go up and there's the window right there at the floor level, and you can step through it, and you're on that landing. And they had the Dark Troll go up, and there's a platform where the backside of the tower's been broken out, and as the troll's coming back down, he broke through a couple of steps. So we eventually get through all of that, but I do mention that on the boat dock are 2 boats, one of which has been destroyed. And reminded last time there were some trolls that showed up, and the Dark Trolls kind of intervened, made them go away, but it was after the trolls had destroyed the boat. So their boat is destroyed, and then there's another boat there. And they say, okay, let's go down the stairs. So they go down to the base level where they were with the barracks rooms and the other bedrooms. And they go down. As they're going down the stairs, and they're very narrow stairs, but there's no railing or anything, right? And as they get down to the bottom, one of the players, Voskandor's player, is playing the male Dark Troll, so he's kind of in the front. Go down. What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to step forward and look around. Okay, step forward, look around. You see some movement. There are 4 zombies down here. They don't know that yet. 4 zombies, move and engage. So everybody starts, shifting, moving around, see where they can get around. The female Dark Troll gets around back. Restra on the stairs can reach one of the zombies, you know, height advantage kind of thing. Just behind him is Subutai with his spear, 2-hex jab. He can get, you know, not a headshot, but upper body attack on that zombie as well. The zombie's kind of shifted around a little bit. There's a zombie in the back with a spear. 2 in front, sword and shield. Yeah, 2 in front with sword and shield, 2 in back with spear. And for, you know, rolling dice. They almost all attack the male dark troll during the entire combat. I think there's maybe 2 attacks that went somewhere else. But the dark troll's really good with his maul. And he's pairing with his maul, and so there's a discussion about pairing with hafted weapons. And I could have swore there's an RQ2 rule about when you parry with a hafted weapon, you don't do damage to the weapon you're parrying because you're parrying with the haft, not with the damage inflicting piece of the weapon. And so there should have been a flow-on rule to RQ3 with that, since RQ3 is basically 2.5, but I could not find it. Did a quick look, and which reminds me, live plays in the description if you like following that kind of stuff. But I couldn't find it, and I'm fairly certain there's an RQ3 rule, but my RQ3 rules are all boxed up because my basement flooded and everything's upstairs waiting until we get the floor fixed downstairs. So I'm just making a ruling at this point. You're pairing with a hafted weapon, even though it's a special or a critical parry, you're not going to do damage to the attacking weapon because you're pairing with the haft. Haft doesn't do damage. Oh, I suppose technically it could because it's like a quarterstaff, and a quarterstaff does damage, right? I don't know. Maybe more discussion on that later. So that came out during this combat, one of those things. But they end up knocking zombies down, taking off arms left and right, a couple legs, one's on down to the ground. The last one is the strongest one. And, the male dark troll did notice when he engaged with the zombies that these are human females. And there wasn't an attack that went through that did a head hit to one of the zombies that brought to negative hit points in its head. And this is one of these rules, okay, forward playing. You know, there's no reaction to injury for zombies. You know, they're already dead. Now, you incapacitate limbs, yeah, but it's an animated creature is going to continue to go until its hit points are, you know, 0 or negative. At that point, it's dead. So even though when it took the head hit, I went ahead and had to do, you know, unconscious. Yeah, not anymore. And we had a little discussion. Everybody kind of agreed with that. Yeah, no, zombies, you need to hack them apart. You know, bring them down 0 hit points, knock off all their limbs or something, right? So they take out all the zombies. The last one is the toughest one. She takes a number of hits to get down. She loses both of her legs. I want to say loses her left arm, so she can't parry the shield, but she's attacking with her sword still and is able to do, you know, some damage. There's also some, I have revised some, refined. I've refined some of my attack parry matrix rules. So the troll did 14 points of damage to the shield parry. Shield's got 12 points. So 12 from 14 leaves 2 points. 1 point goes into the shield, bringing it down to 11. 1 point gets through. Now they're all wearing leather, so it gets absorbed. That was the concept. So at 1 point, the shield got hit for 20 points of damage. And that was actually a regular hit. He rolled almost max damage. So again, 12 from 20 is 8. 1 point goes into the shield, bringing it down to 11. That's 7 that gets through. 2 from the 7 leaves 5 damage to the limb, which was enough to take the limb out. So some of this conservation of energy kind of stuff that I'm working with. In fact, there was a special blow at 1 point, didn't do a lot of damage, but it was 8 points. I think it was 20 at that time too. 20 points of damage, 12 from 20 leaves 8. 4 goes into the shield, bringing it down to Oh, it was the other way around. It was the player has a rapier and attacked, failed the attack, or maybe it was a 6 I don't remember now. But the parry was a critical parry, which does special damage. And it's a D4, but this creature had a damage bonus, so it got enough to go 12. I think it was 12 points of damage. The rapier has 8 hit points. 8 from 12 is 4. 2 points go into the rapier, bringing it down to 6. And the 2 got through, but he's got leather armor everywhere, so it didn't do any real damage. That's the mechanic I'm working with now on this whole conservation of energy thing. Which is my thought pattern with the whole heal 6 and heal 2 thing, although I have revised my opinion of that after reading some more on that. That's for another post. So, they killed the zombies. A couple of them recognize, hey, these are the female guards we killed not initially, but that we killed in the hallway upstairs that attacked us from the rear. They were made zombies after we killed them. What's going on? There's something obviously evil down here now that we know because zombie region. Although Zoraxaran's not really evil, he's got zombies. So, that kind of thing. At this point, they've got 2 hallways. They skirt around the west side of the tower, and there's a hallway going west, and they go down that way, and there is a glimmer of light coming from an entrance to the north, and so they sneak up to it, and there is an actual tunnel. Somebody has carved a tunnel through this wall back into something. And so Arestra kind of sidesteps around, is looking down there, and it's weavy wobbly. Everybody else gets around. What do you think? Let's go in. So she goes in. The dark trolls behind her. Dark trolls, male, female, are behind her. And as she goes through and around, there's a creature, sword and shield, and behind a creature with a spear. Now, their light is back in the hallway with Engrolar. Now, there's light past these guys from behind, so there's still a glimmer, so you can see shapes and figures. She attacks. They both attack. She parries. And Subutai from back in the hallway says, "Hey, draw them out, draw them out." And then everybody kind of backs out, and she's saying, Arestra's saying, "Back up, back up." And so they back up. At that point, the 2 dark trolls and Daven are in a situation where they can see down the hallway behind Engrolar. And Engrolar missed a handful of rolls, and there is light behind Engrolar and people coming towards them. And that's where we ended the session, because combat was going to get really complicated at that point. All in all, not a bad session. The rule discussion I thought went well, and everybody seems to be coalescing on my interpretation of things. And I've adjusted some of mine to meet what I consider believable expectations. And I think that's it. Happy gaming. Where's my mouse? My mouse is gone.